Greetings. You don't grow a brand by shrinking yourself. And in this episode, we talk about what it really means to be her now and how brand voice and strategy can change your entire life. And my girl Courtney is that chick. Yes, Courtney.
Hey, Coach Selina, so excited to be here with you.
I love this. I am super excited about this, Stoke. Just so y'all know, she called me Coach Selena, but let me tell you, she is also my coach. This is the person that holds me accountable, gets me on the right track, and I'm grateful, so grateful for you, Coach Courtney. Thank you for being here.
Thank
It's
you
a
for having
long
me.
overdue conversation. So let's
Yeah, it is. It
let's
really
just
is.
let's just get
It's
into
so
it.
exciting. It's like, oh wow, it finally came to be.
We're doing it. We're doing it. So let's just start. Just let me rip the band-aid off, girl. How do you show up in the world?
How do I show up in the world? Well, now at this stage in my life, I show up loud and unapologetic, right? Being my full self. And so, but it has not always been the story, especially when I was mainly, I was working in a very toxic white male dominated industry as a lawyer.
What?
Yeah, like so many of us, right? Come up and you go to school, you work in these industries and you have to water yourself down like you're not able to be your full true self, right? And so it feels weird once you free yourself. It feels weird when you are trying to on that journey to freeing yourself. So that's the best part about being a coach, right? Is that I get to really help activate and unlock so many other entrepreneurs, so many women, marginalized women, right, to get out here, like take up that space, be loud and unapologetic in a world that really tries to make you feel like you should not be.
Mhm. So tell us more about that. So you caught my interest in this white male dominated space. What were you doing, boo?
Girl, Lord, listen, my trajectory, I used to work for, when I first got out of undergrad, I worked for a criminal defense attorney first, right? I was a legal assistant for her. That's where I learned, oh, I can have my own law practice. I can be a black woman. I can charge my value and I can kick ass and take names. I
Right.
needed to see that. Right?
Mm,
Especially in an industry where I was going to law school. My trajectory was to go to law school, but this is an industry where the majority of black lawyers work for the government, right?
mm, mm.
And my
I didn't
thought process
that.
is when you work for the government, it ties your hands for how you can truly disrupt because oftentimes you're disrupting systemic harm of which the government is a part, and if you go too hard, well, your livelihood is at stake,
Wow.
your money is at stake. So I came working with her. Then I went and worked for DHS, and I went and worked for the Department of Veteran Affairs, and that was the federal government. So I worked
Mm.
there the entire time I was in law school. And then when I came out, I graduated law school and I opened my own law practice immediately. Yes, child. It was great. I had to learn everything from scratch. I thought I was going to get a job like everybody else. And then it was like, no, I started to read these books and learn about, hold on, I'm going to be billing 200, like say for instance, a law firm could pay me $100,000. Well, I'm gonna be billing $200,000. I am in a city and surrounding counties where I am born and raised. I bring a lot to the table. Be bringing y'all more clients. I'm from
Right.
a marginalized community, so I know that the bulk of the clientele in many client facing legal industries are usually marginalized people. So I said I'm gonna work for myself, and then I did, and in there, that's where that white male dominated industry, which is just the legal field. I
Yeah.
mean, black lawyers only make up 5%, girl.
Mm.
5%, and I mean that's been for the past 10 years. It has not increased. Other demographics have increased. You know, just not us. So at this time frame, it is just important for us, as lawyers, any lawyers or anyone, when you're coming from those industries, you really got to learn how to reclaim yourself while you're in those. You got to learn ways to reclaim yourself, so you don't get lost in it like so many of us do.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So are you still practicing? Like what's going on?
Oh, yes, child. That's a good question. So to anybody who calls me, absolutely not. And but I'm still closing out cases. So being a lawyer is one of the things. You can get on a case and it can take, 3, 4, 5 years, depending on whatever it is, sometimes more to just finish it out. I did primarily criminal defense and personal injury towards the
Mhm.
end of my law practice. Early on, I did family law, and so a lot of people may know me from fighting a high profile case, criminal. I fought a high profile criminal case, and then I also fought a foster care case and getting these kids out of foster care in a little small city outside of Nashville. But I don't take any new cases. I do solely what I call second opinion consultations. If you're here in Tennessee, like you would go to
Mhm.
a doctor, you know what I mean? The problem is every lawyer is not an advocate, and every advocate is not a lawyer. And so
I like
sometimes, hello?
bars. Those sound like bars. Is that a song?
It's a bar. Listen, because it's my slogan.
Yes.
Every lawyer is not an advocate. Every advocate is not a lawyer. So you got to kind of know like what you're doing. You got to, you got to set yourself apart as a lawyer. And so I started coaching lawyers. So that way they can know that the only trajectory for you does not have to be within the government. Like there's the pathway for you outside of the government to make profit and impact, have a lot of impact. And then
Mm.
actually, people will say, well, you know what? The people in the criminal justice system, they need us. They're poor people. No, everybody is not who comes into the criminal justice system making up under the $30,000 or whatever the poverty line is. They're making right above it. And so they may not even qualify for public assistance. So they need good lawyers to
Yeah.
actually fight for them. And so I started coaching lawyers and creating legal assistant trainings for them so they could be more effective in scaling their practices, right? Without burning out.
Because you have been there and done that.
Oh, child. No, you think I don't do it? Listen, I want to get to them before they get like I did. Like I fought so hard. I put everything on the line all the time. I burned out. Like I had no interest in actually scaling my law practice anymore. But for my coaching client, it's like, oh, I love this. I love helping you with this. I love this is no big deal. And then I also have clients like who are new practitioners and they're coming out. So I show them how to open their practice, but I also teach them how to practice. So they're having their first trial. So they're booking me to do their trial preps. Yes, girl, they're packing. It's so much fun because it's like I get to do all the fun of being a lawyer, which is strategizing, building the case, helping you know exactly how to outsmart the other side, strategy, all of that, without having to go into court and fight it.
Love that. You are like, that sounds like you're the plug and you got a range, right? So criminal defense, the family, what was the third one?
Yes, personal injury.
And personal injury.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and girl, when I first came out, remember I told you I worked for the Department of Veteran Affairs. So some of my the highest compensation cases that I received were from veterans medical malpractice cases. I did those initially when I came out from the VA. I wanted to lean into whatever my niche at that time, which was I had worked at the VA as a veteran service representative. And so I knew the process. And so I did at least two of those medical malpractice cases. They're admin cases. And we brought in over six figures each time as a settlement for all of I mean, it was so bad how the VA hospitals will do some veterans. Like, it's just like, some of that treatment is just horrible, right? And so somebody you got to have people calling it out. You got to see it. But with the federal government, the VA, you have to settle it administratively. So it's no going to court. You got to settle it administratively. But they didn't do too bad on some of these cases. But yeah, the people's injuries were horrible.
Oh man, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Just even in the workplace in corporate America, the personal injury is
Ooh,
horrible. And I'm a
the
witness.
personal injury of corporate America, girl, that need to be a book.
Maybe you and I can write it.
We need to just do that. You know what? We need to
Yes.
just do a newsletter or something just on the personal injury of corporate America.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Because
bring the legal side and then we're gonna add in all. Yeah, that's perfect. I love that.
yeah, uh, this is so yummy to me. I did not know. So someone we all know and love, Rachel, got started this kind of similar, right? So that's
Yeah,
cool.
she's a business lawyer. Yeah, so she did that. Yeah, I mean, coming out on your own practice as a lawyer in any type of way is hard. It was different, especially as a minority lawyer. So being able to see how she was able to scale her firm was very, very extraordinary, right? Especially for a woman. And then in the times that she was doing it, how she was doing it, it was not a lot of lawyers doing what she was doing. Like they were not online doing
Right.
offering their services like that back in the day when she was doing that. And so it was like, and when I say back in the day, I'm talking about like 2012, 2013, or whatever. But people weren't doing stuff like that, right? And
Well,
so
doing it traditional,
eh,
maintaining the status quo. That's
eh,
why we disrupt some things, round up in
baby,
this piece.
look, old school legal pad, go in court with your files. Like I have all of this stuff like right around me. It's like all of these things. Like it's
Right.
that's what you think of like the majority of lawyers are doing, especially in the ones that I coach, like the client facing ones. I call client facing. I'm talking about like criminal defense, family, personal injury,
Yeah.
bills in the states. The one where the community is coming in, they're hiring you to assist them in these different things. Um,
Okay.
it's important for them to learn different strategies because a lot of the work we do is so archaic, like, and it's just natural to this industry. So it
That
comes.
reminds me of so many things that I've experienced. Not just that industry, like even like the real estate industry, just certain
Uh-huh.
things that kind of like, ugh.
Yeah. Yes, I come into the future, guys. And so now I'm coaching these people. That's why I created a more than a legal assistant training for my lawyers because I was coaching my lawyers. And then when I was talking to them, Selena, I'd be giving them all the strategy and everything. And then guess what? They come back the next week or so and they're so busy practicing law that they haven't had a chance to do any of the things to actually move the needle in their business and grow it because they're just focused on moving the needle with their client. And I was like, oh
Right.
my God, this is so this is counterproductive. And so being a lawyer and knowing that grind, I was like, okay, huh, they're legal assistants. They're barely using them. They only have them do the bare minimum. I'm gonna teach them how to do some light marketing, some light operations, like to get them from they can it easily move them from like a hello 3, a hello 4 to a hello 5, something if they can just have that consistency that they themselves don't have the time to put in place.
Right. Understood. Understood. Oh,
Uh,
that is so yummy. And the fact that you are also a certified business mindset and money coach,
Absolutely.
where did that come into the frame for you?
Oh, girl, it's this is great because I decided to be a well, law school did not teach us business. Just
Hmm.
like medical school didn't teach business, just like many of the schools that we go to are not teaching us truly how to run a business, how to grow our own money, things of that nature, right? They're
Hmm.
not teaching us any of these things. And so, because of that, I was like, man, I know how, because I was able to open my own law practice and make six figures that first year. I'm like, I easily know how to show other lawyers how to do that. And I did that with multiple lawyers. I do that with multiple lawyers. But I said, you know
Right.
what? Six figures is not enough. We need multiple six figures. We need seven figures. I want my lawyers to really be able to make some change. So I had unseated a judge here for one of my former coaching clients. Yes, she's a judge now, sitting on the bench, and that's the kind of change I want all my lawyers to be able to make, and they need money to do it.
Woo. Okay, girl. All right. There's so many questions that are running through. Let me start with this one because this is one that I love to
So,
lean
Coach, you like, girl, who is he? Who are you, Coach? I don't even know you anymore.
into. So it makes me think about, because you have just disrupted so many things and situations. What would you say the disruptor in you had to disrupt? Like, you know, you, I see you good at it and helping other people do it. What about you?
Ooh, child, girl. That's a loaded one. And I love it. Okay. The disruptor in me had to disrupt the traditional society values and thought processes that came from working within, like we were just talking about that white male patriarchy, right? That entire
Mhm.
job type vibe. So I had to go, and this segues a bit into Be Her Now, right? But I had to go learn my strengths. Right, because so many things I thought about myself, I was like, "Oh my God, you're always waiting to the last minute. Oh my God, you're so, you just do this, you don't do this right, or oh, you're too much of this. That's not a good thing. You shouldn't do that." And it's like, okay, wait a minute. I We should all be millionaires was the first, starting point into looking like, okay, life don't have to be like this. I can
Right.
envision a different life.
Right. And you
Oh,
from the outside over here, girl, look like you living your best life.
now. Because girl, when I first started off, like, I mean, I've always been a turner upper. You know what I mean? I always like, lawyers in general, we work hard, but we like to party harder because our
Absolutely.
jobs are so hard. But I literally had to go find my zone of genius, Selena. And so through the, podcast and all of that, and on that journey, I was like, I've heard about the Big Leap, learned about the Clifton Strengths test. And I was like, oh, I read Big Leap and I'm like, oh my God, I'm reframing my mindset. Like that was the hardest thing. The mindset had to be disrupted, right?
Yeah.
That mindset was hard. And so from the Big Leap to Nobody Knows the Trouble, I've seen Emotionalize the Black Women, to the New Jim
Mhm.
Crow, to all these things. I was just reprogramming my mind, right? And then I learned my zones of genius. So I went and did the Clifton Strengths test and I learned, oh my God, girl, you're an activator. You have command. Oh goodness, girl, you're strategic. You got great communication, and you're a visionary, right? You're futuristic. Like so many things I had never, when you're growing up in different places, and it's like you'll hear different things, and people are pouring into you, but maybe sometimes they don't have those exact words to say to you.
Right.
That that really, really, really resonate and make you look at yourself like, oh wow, right? And so that's what that did for me. Like reading that, like, oh my God, all the things that I thought were um actual bad things that I was doing or things that I didn't like about myself, they were my strengths.
Right.
I should
Go-
lean into 'em.
Yes, go for it. These we have a couple of them in common. Yes. I can totally see that. You've already some of my questions you just answering as we go. This is wonderful. Those book recommendations that
Ah, yes.
help change your life. So the Big Leap.
Yes. I have a starter pack that I created for my coaching clients. I
Mm,
call it the starter coaching pack because after we did all the I did all this coaching with to get our hours that we had to do, and
right.
so I started to learn like the hardest part was getting them to dream and to open. Like the hardest part of marginalized people, the people I coached with were women. I had marginalized women, and I think I had one guy. And the hardest part was even helping them believe that they, forcing them to dream a little bit more than what they,
Possibilities.
yeah,
Yeah.
they would only dream as far as what they could see themselves accomplishing at their moment. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's not a BHAG. That's not a big, hairy, audacious goal. So it's not even exciting for you, and you're never going to try to
Right.
do it. However, if we just push past, the societal expectations, or even you in your mind, like how unbelievable this is for you to even think about this, you just push past that for a minute and do
Yeah.
it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Do it
It's
anyway.
do it hard, do it
Yes.
all the things. Yes.
Disruption.
And you are an activator. So I know you help them activate.
Absolutely. It's like that's resistance. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like dreaming anyway, in spite of you knowing how I'm gonna get there, but just saying, you know what? This is what I really want. Because we always start off a session and I'll be talking to somebody and they'll be like, oh, well, I just want this, or I just want enough to be able to get by, or I
yes.
just need about $7,000. And it's like, hold on. And then I be listening to them the whole time. And I'm not gonna push, I'm just not gonna go so hard, but then I'm gonna wait till I hear that one little term. And every time I be like, well, and I'm like, okay, so is there anything else in there? You're like, so that's it. That you don't want, and then at one point they'll say something to click and they'll say, one of my clients said, well, if I could have it my way. And I said, hold on, stop, stop, stop. I said, listen, from here on out, this entire conversation, when we're dreaming, I only want you to think about if you could have it your way,
I love
right?
it.
Because there was something about it, something inherently inside of you that won't let you think about having it your way. And
Right.
that has to be disrupted. And so the books I would recommend were to open your mind, to let yourself dream, right? I would definitely say, you got to hit the We Should All Be Millionaires Audible. You
You know,
got
I got that one.
to, like, come on now. You got to hit the We Should All Be Millionaires Audible. It's just like a non negotiable. Like, that one is like just an activation immediately.
I
Like,
mean, especially if you a black woman.
oh my God. Like, if you just listen, if you're sitting somewhere and you're stuck right now and you don't know the next step you want to take in your life, please just listen to the first two chapters of that book. I promise to listen. You'll be like, hold on, wait, that's it. Give me my damn pen.
And
This is
you
what I want to do.
mentioned the Audible. Everything that I consume has to be Audible because
Huh.
I learned through listening,
Yes. So,
hearing.
I agree. We're here with that, Coach Selena. But let me tell you, I grew up just being a reader. I love
Reader.
reading. But in 2022, when I found We Should All Be Millionaires, right? The thing was, I got the book first.
Right.
So I started reading the book and I was like, this is good. But I wasn't me because I'm still a lawyer, all those things. I wasn't going to complete the book,
Right.
right? I wasn't going to complete it. Like, that's just how I do. I'll read it like to maybe 60% and
Yeah.
maybe not finish the rest. And so what I did was that's when I found out about Audible at about that time.
Yeah.
I was like,
Game
oh,
changer.
girl, all them credits I had, I was like, I bought so many books. I'm driving back and forth to court. I'm everywhere. I'm listening day in and day out. And I'm like literally just reprogramming my mind. So I
Yeah.
listened to We Should All Be Millionaires. That took me to then I was simultaneously listening to Nobody Knows the Trouble I've Seen, The Emotional Lives of Black Women by Dr. Inger Burnett Ziegler. I say that that book is therapy. There's therapy in a book. And she's a psychologist. When I tell you it is everything for black women, to just know why we do the things why do we find it so hard to put ourselves first? Why do we always focus on others? Like, it is literally just been passed down, right? Just our ancestors and our grandparents didn't have a choice but to do things that way. And so,
Right.
they taught us a certain type of way to protect us. And then so
Yep.
some of these things are, done in love, but still kind of keep us restricted. And so that book, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, is next. And then if you're anybody who has a social justice heart, and which is what I'm, what type of coach I am, like I'm a profit and impact coach. I'm a strategic brand coach. So we're able to talk about how to weave the things that you care about most, the issues you care about most, and pull them to the forefront and use your business, right, as an engine to be able
Yeah.
to spread awareness about that. That naturally calls out to your people, your audience, your ideal clients, your
I
different.
love this.
You
Tell
stand.
them.
Yeah,
Tell
you
them,
see what
coach.
I'm saying, Selena? You stand for more. You stand for way more than just making a buck. You're using your business as a tool to disrupt harmful systems. And so the new Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander is I think
Mhm.
one everybody should listen to.
Right. Is the one by Inger Burnett Singler? Is,
Ziegler, that's Z is in zebra,
like,
E-I. Yeah, Z
is
E
that on
I.
Audible by
Uh-huh.
chance?
It
Oh,
is on Audible. Zeigler.
girl. So that's a lot of books in the starter pack.
That's it, girl. Listen, that's about four. But I usually, and I mean, everybody's not a social justice person. So sometimes I'll just have them start with We Should All Be Millionaires, Nobody Knows the Trouble I've Seen. And then we'll segue to the big leap once you start getting into your Clifton strengths
Right.
and really learning out learning about what's your secret sauce. You know what I mean? That's the activation portion around it. Like what sets you apart. And let's dive into this and let's go find the evidence. I'm a lawyer. So I'm gonna go find the evidence for you in your own life to show you how dope you are.
Oh, tell them, tell them,
Got
tell them,
to. You
tell them. Wow. So that just set the stage for you. So you learned you were an activator, command, strategic, visionary. What was the fifth one?
communication.
I thought it was communication. I was like, let me
Hmm.
double check because sometimes my ears.
Listen,
When you realized that and you started leaning into your strengths, what happened? What broke free?
girl, Lord have mercy. Oh my God. Mindset of like, all I wanted to do was live in my zone of genius. All I wanted to do is to do the things I love. Like, I created boundaries. I would not do things I did not that were not in my zone of genius. I would turn down, events. I turned down going out. I turned down, like, I know my family around that time. All I could do was explain to them. I felt like I was building Noah's Ark. That was why I was
Mhm.
building my business. It was a dream in my head. I'm just building it. I wouldn't go anywhere. All I wanted to do was be in my zone of genius, building, getting it out of my brain, doing what I needed to do, trying to figure out all this stuff, how to build a business. I don't know nothing about business. I mean, I know a little bit. I was able to build a six-figure business on my own, but it's like I don't have any interest in keeping that thing going. I want to learn how to make money in a way where I am able to stay like in my zone of genius. My zone of excellence is being a lawyer. I'm great at being a lawyer. Like, I mean, girl, listen, it's one of my superpowers. People pay me tens of thousands of dollars to represent them. To this day, will still if I would let them. But that keeps me that one-to-one exchange. I'm only able to do enough change with just you or just help you. But what about the tens of thousands of others that I have the capacity to help?
Well,
Right?
this sounds like you've been able to amplify your voice and your offering and create more impact. Is that where when did the Hello Seven coach certification come into play? Were you in at ROI in Puerto Rico
Yeah.
on the announcement, or what
Yeah,
happened?
I was. So in 2022, when I tell you I was on this journey, building Noah's Ark, listening to all
Yeah.
these different books, I was like, broke because I was willfully broke because I stopped taking cases because I wanted to live in my zone of genius and close out the
Ah,
and so I went to mainly consultations. And I was like, I saw ROI come up. I had been to I had been to conferences before, but they're usually lawyer conferences,
right,
which is an issue because, like, I mean, it's cool. You can need to get CLEs. Lawyers need continuing legal education credits for us as lawyers. We need those by about 12 of them. I know here in Tennessee by the end of the year, but it's like,
right,
that's not my ideal client is not there. You know what I mean? So like lawyer world is just different. So anyway, I that was the first time I had ever been to a business conference. And I was
right,
like, this is so dope. Like this is the energy I want to be in. This is the kind of boss I'm trying to be. I want to have a brand. I want to be able to
right.
me transition to something else. And then I joined the Hello 7 coach certification.
Yeah.
It was great.
So I see that you got some fans in the building. I pulled up our live chat over on YouTube. Somebody said, "Hey, Court, Miss Financially all over the place."
Who is
Okay.
it? It's tell him I say, hey girl,
She
hey.
can hear you. She's
Listen,
listening. She tapped in. That's
listen,
so good.
child.
You all can join us over on YouTube out there and come on in the room and chat with us. Courtney, this is just amazing. What would you say it has been?
Tell him I say, hey girl. Sorry, you just told me about that. I got it.
Oh, yeah.
It pulled up on my other screen, like the screen I don't want open. Sorry.
Of course. That's why. So, what we're talking about is we got to mute before we go live on our YouTubes, or it'll catch us by surprise and it'll be in the middle of our conversation. So, that's a little blooper. You get a little bit of education around that as well. What I'm wondering, Courtney, what has been the biggest and most exciting thing that has happened since you started leaning into your zone of genius? What is one of those clients that just you were like, this is what I meant to, I'm on the
Oh,
right path, like all of the things, because it just,
the big one that let me know that I was doing the right thing.
yeah. What would you reflect on
I
about
would say it was one of my coaching clients now who would not let me not coach her.
that?
And she wouldn't let
Don't you love that when they be like, here, girl, take all my
me.
money?
Was her. It's like she until I basically did the coach certification, I'm just kind of like I was like the best kept secret if you were a marginalized lawyer who wanted to open their own law practice, right? Especially right out of law school. Because a
Right.
lot of lawyers just do not do that. Like only 1% of lawyers open their own law practices right out of law school. And so she got out of law school during 2020, COVID, and she wanted to do criminal, and somebody hooked her up with me, and like, I'm one of those coaches at that time where I'm like, listen, I was still practicing. I'm like, pull up, come on, we're going here. I'm gonna be here. Make sure you come here, or you can come
Hey,
over here, meet
you
me
giving
here.
her a front row seat.
Yeah. I mean, that's listen. You're so busy as a practicing lawyer, you really don't have a choice. It's just kind of like show up and or meet me afterwards while I'm eating. That's
Mhm.
really the only time.
Right.
So she showed up to me and she was just like, I helped her, even though she couldn't do criminal because all the courts were closed at that time frame. She was able to do some family law,
Mm,
and I helped her get her business up, helped her learn the structure around that, helped her, learn how to get her clients in. And then, she would come to me, when she connect her into the dots for her, then showing her also how to practice, because it's like new lawyers, not only do they need business information, they need to know how to practice too. That's a issue. They want to know what to do. They don't want to look stupid. So
yeah.
she came to me and she had me she just wouldn't let me not coach her. And so I think we had a trial prep package I was telling you about. I
Right.
did she had a case and I did a trial prep package for her where basically I took she, come to me. And so her whole trial prep for that case, you get 4 full weeks. I'm talking about deep dives, 2.5 hours each week. And we're really going into the case. Girl, by the end of that case, that girl came out and she had forced out, like, she found all these different motions that we found that she needed to do. She knocked it out. She went in there and she forced exculpatory evidence out of the state that they were keeping hidden. So they had a whole another six
Go, girl.
pack. It was a lineup, a 6 pack lineup of her client and the one of the alleged victims. He did not identify her client in that. So that's exculpatory, meaning it has the potential to prove her client is innocent.
Innocent,
And
yeah.
so that was when I said, ah, this
This.
this this
Woo.
is what it's for. You know what I mean? To be able to empower the young lawyers to be able to get out here and kick ass and take names. And, even when they don't know fully what to do, and experienced district attorneys
Right.
people will run circles around them, police, district attorneys, because they're young and inexperienced, or not so much young. They can just be newly coming out of law school, and they're not strategically thinking like that. You got to build that muscle. But I'm 12 years in, it's easy for me. So of course I love to help in this way, and it helps so many more people than I could just help by myself.
You got double digits on this thing. I love that. And I was looking for my bell. Usually when something really good goes off, I ring the bell. And I don't know where
The alarm. I've been through this so long.
my
Beyonce.
cousin, she cleans for me. So sometimes she put my stuff somewhere I
To
don't
put
know.
it up and you don't know how to find it no more. And you like, you know what? Listen, just leave my chaos in chaos. I know where it is.
Don't touch this side over here.
Touch, stop. Look, I know you meant well, but please.
Oh my God, I love that for you. And the way that you framed it, she would not let you coach her. I had the same
Wow.
thing happen during my certification. She was gonna make me take her money.
It was like, girl, I mean, I had to make something up. I was like, I didn't want to do it. I was just like, oh, okay, this is what it is, girl. Just, we'll do it this day. And then she went with it, and she's still one of my clients. Like, she is one of my favorite ones, actually. She's
I love
great.
that for you and for her. It
Yeah,
also sounds like it was the beginning of the framework and what the offer was.
absolutely.
So tell us more, darling.
So with my coaching, I remember I told you I have a lawyer's coaching package. But I also have the net lawyer's coaching package is just, it's like 6 months for that lawyer or whatnot. But again, we also have legal assistant training that we're putting into that, because oftentimes these lawyers are not going to be able to they don't have the time to take advantage of the coaching, because
Right.
they are so focused on practicing, and their legal assistants only do the bare minimum,
Right.
which kind of makes them ineffective. And it's exhausting for them, because they end up having to do the majority of the work, when really their legal assistant should be self-sufficient and taking initiative. This should be
Mhm.
their partner, should be their Batman. This is your Robin. You all can scale this business, and the legal assistant focus on moving the needle in the client's case
Right.
and moving the needle in the firm. So that's one way to work with us, is doing a legal assistant training. You can do lawyers coaching. Like, I have a law practice accelerator for lawyers who are coming just out of law school, who want to open their law practice.
Okay.
Um, and then we also have the trial package. So that is a trial package that I was telling you about, that where we actually prep your trial with you, and make sure, we theme it out. We do the theory of the case and make sure you're not missing anything. Um,
Right.
that's for my lawyers and in that legal industry. But on the other side, I do still some coaching with other entrepreneurs. Like, I have a Loud Legacy package that I'll be offering a complimentary strategy session. I'll drop that link for your audience. So that way, if they want to book one, then, feel free, and then we can talk about what that kind of relationship would look like.
Loud legacy. Just the thought of that, like it sounds like something I might need.
Listen, Loud Legacy is like, that's
Yeah.
one of those things. Remember when we get into talking about being her now, when I told you, like, I'm just my all my life, and that was one of those things that I had to go into.
Yeah.
And I did one of those things that I started to realize that were the upper limits. Growing up, I would always hear the theme of what described Courtney. Then I was Courtney Williams.
Mhm.
The theme was loud. right? Always loud. I was always loud. I've always been loud. And a portion of me, would feel like, oh my goodness, maybe I shouldn't be this loud, or I should not do this, or, obviously this bothers people. Well, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? That's your problem. Who cares? I am loud. Oh well, and so realizing that you don't have to be for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like a good offer compels as well as repels. Baby, I'm not open for every business for every single person. Like if we feel aligned in our missions and what we're working on and what we're doing, that's what I seek to do with the women that I coach. Mostly introverts, right? I mostly have introverts that literally find me. I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert adopter. It's what one of my strengths kind of describe me as. It's hilarious.
Well, why do you believe that introverts are attracted to you?
Cause I'm about to sound crazy. I'm loud, and I make them I make them feel seen because I do see them. Like they don't have to be loud. Like I'm gonna strike up a conversation with anybody I'm around. So if I'm around you, if I see you're over there by yourself for
Right,
whatever reason, I'm gonna go grab you, and I mean not gonna pull you anywhere, but I'm just gonna go talk to you so you feel included. And then I'm gonna hear something about you, and then I'm gonna take whatever I hear that I know is dope, and then I'm gonna introduce you to this next person so you can
right.
go ahead and start networking with them. And then now you're talking. Okay, good. You got you a person. Let me go off. And I learned how to do that because the campaign I ran and won was like I was telling you, one of my first coaching clients, she is an extreme introvert. And
Mm,
she, Lord Jesus, we fought back and forth. Like her energy would go out. She would have to take time to build it back up. I'm a more of an extrovert, ambivert now at this time, but
right.
I get the job done at that time. Like I'm just here, like, listen, I'm gonna be on as long as I need to, then I can go home and go recharge later. But introverts might fizzle out faster. And so
Yeah.
just learning and identifying with how she moves, how she works, and then bringing it over here to the business world whenever I see anybody who I feel like is, you're not getting the fullness of what you came here for because maybe you're scared of maybe how somebody will perceive you or
Right.
whatever. Say it again.
I was gonna say right, and that's what I feel, especially women. That's typically part of the concern, right? Being nice and the good girl, not being too loud, being seen,
Absolutely.
her, all of the things. So I love that. You said you are a
Introvert
introvert
adopter. So
adopter.
you can book a Loud Legacy session as an introvert, and I just go, you tell me what makes you dope. I mean, when you tell, I'll pull it out of you. What's your experience? What all that stuff? I learned about your strengths, all of those different things, and then we figure out what do you want to do, what do you want to create, and then
Right.
we'll figure out how do we eat an elephant. Well, you know what my favorite saying: one little piece at a time, right? And then we'll figure out those little bitty ways to then start making you be more visible, right? Like, then get it off. Figure out ways to make you more visible, right? In a way that feels more authentic to yourself and is still taking up space and owning your true power.
I love that. I love that. I love that. And so you're dropping a link for them. They can click the link. What happens after
Absolutely.
they click the link?
Just it's just you booking a call with me.
Oh, that's good. So they get right to you
Yeah,
right away.
you're gonna get right with me. That's gonna like this is gonna be directly with me, and we'll be able to talk and kind of figure out what is your loud legacy, right? We'll clarify your mission, your message, identify your visibility and the revenue opportunities maybe you're missing, and it will map out some strategic next steps that are gonna
Right.
help you turn your mission into movement. And I'm gonna put this here in the chat for you so you can just drop it for them. I can't find out how to drop anything in the chat on YouTube, but I still can see
Oh,
it.
okay. It's not letting you drop it. All right. Let me take
Shout
care of
out to financially all over the place.
it. Is okay. Let's drop it for the ones and the twos. Let's see if anyone else has joined us and has any questions or anything to say for you, my dear. She said, love the gems being dropped. I know that's right. Let me drop this link too that she has so they can get in touch. Boom.
Yes.
There it is. This is how you can connect.
Shout out.
You connect
You
with.
also can follow me over on the Black Law Girl on YouTube at Black Law Girl.
Let's give me that link too, honey.
Yeah, girl, listen, say less.
ain't gatekeeping around here. We
Say
are
less right here in the chat.
key openers.
Say, babe, we don't gatekeep here, okay?
Absolutely.
Not at DisruptHer conversations. And
No.
speaking of DisruptHer conversations, y'all need to make sure that y'all get to the Get Your Shit Together challenge whenever Coach Selina has it again. Because, baby, it's lit, okay? I'm telling y'all, it is lit. So get yourself to that Get Your Shit Together challenge. There should be no excuses, baby. It's time to get our shit together, and quarter 4 is on the way. Okay? All right.
Hey, that's what we do. We help you
Look, you
get
see the little commercial.
it
It's a little
together.
commercial.
Well, this is what happens when great minds and energy come together, right? We
Absolutely.
support one another, we see one another, we it's just a beautiful time and energy and space. It's nothing like it. I cannot share enough how being in that coaching certification, my best gift that came with that is it was a hundred plus sisters in there like me.
Just like, listen, right?
Girl,
Right?
it's
It
we
was like the most beautiful thing ever. I met some of the, like, literally to this day, like, sisters.
yes.
Just love.
And ain't gotta be like we ain't gotta be talking every day, but if you ring that bell, we
Hello?
show we
Pulling
are
up.
showing up for
I love
sure.
it.
I love what's happening in our mastermind that we're creating too. Those two
Ooh.
sisters is just like, okay, we understand the assignment. I love
Absolutely. I
um
love it.
I love it. I love it for you because we know you got a lot going on. I'm intrigued and I don't want to get away without asking this question.
Okay.
So there's a thing that I do. Most people don't know this because I do it behind the scenes, but for every guest that comes on, I ask them if they're okay with me praying for their business. And sometimes you don't know what the business name is, right? Because there's other factors and things. And so you have said this over and over and over again, and I've never inquired. So because this is my show, I want to know where did how did Emeffen get started? Where it come from? Like what's going on with Emeffen?
I love that you asked me that, Coach Selena. So, y'all, MFN is the name of my business, my brand. And that is the one I created. And when I was telling y'all, I felt like Noah's Ark, right? I was building Noah's Ark. And, we train lawyers and we actually coach lawyers and we train advocates. And we also have legal literacy. So I have a book called The Easy Way to Learn Your Rights.
Hmm.
And book one, book two, on the one on the Fourth Amendment, one on the Fifth Amendment. And it has no legalese. We do it without all the legal jargon. Get straight down to what you need to know, and especially in these times, it is important that marginalized people know legal literacy. It's not taught in schools. It's bigger than just knowing your rights. You need to know your rights, but you need to know how to apply them. You need to know why to apply them, when to apply them, and that's what I do. And it's broken down at even, I want to say, a 9-year-old could understand it. It has a syllabus
Hmm.
inside and everything. And so, MFing is a euphemism for a passionately cultured word, right?
Hmm.
Used in African American English, which is
Yeah.
a nationally recognized language. And it means pay attention to whatever is being described.
Mm.
Now, our mission is to end mass incarceration, where Black Americans are 6 times more incarcerated than the 60% white majority.
Mm.
That's
Talk
been
about it.
at the front and foremost of what we do and why we do. We
Yeah.
took the model like Ben and Jerry's, right? Like we sell training, coaching, curriculum, books. However, our message is clear that we're here to disrupt systemic harm, and that's what we want to spread awareness about. And so everything we do is in connection with that. And so, MFN, I could think of nothing more important than for the community to pay attention to than the fact that Black Americans are 6 times more
Right.
incarcerated than the 60% white majority, yet we only make up 14% of the entire US. And so that's where the new Jim Crow comes in. A lot of us read that, we went to lectures or we heard about it, and it was a big phase back when it came out, but then many people didn't do much else after that. And so mass incarceration continued to increase because we only have reactive efforts to fight it versus proactive efforts, which I knew or know clearly how to do because I was a lawyer for so long. And
Right.
so that is why I created MFN. And that is why the name is there. We're blatant. We are the business protest of systemic harm.
Girl, girl, girl.
Yes. And our framework is in there too, girl. MFN. Our
Tell us
framework
about
is yeah.
Tell us about it.
So the framework is is MFN, and that is woven throughout everything: mindset, right? Finesse and non-negotiable boundaries. I know you asked me a question. You were asking me about power. What's my version of power? And
Mm-hmm.
so getting into knowing your strengths, what you truly want out of life, fully what you want, right? What do you want? Not what society wants. What do you want out of life? And it's like you people might be thinking, well, how does that help disrupt systemic harm? Hold on. You can't do anything for anybody else if you're not taken care of.
Right.
You're gonna have people in this industry who are gonna tell you that you need to work for nothing. You need to get paid nothing. You need to give long hours. You need to be on every single board. You are
Shut
a
up, Courtney.
hello, baby. Listen, you didn't bring me on here to lie, right?
No, we don't do that.
Now we don't do that. You're exhausted. You don't have time for much of anyone else or anything else, right? And so you're not disrupting anything. You are literally just trying to make it. And so you have to pull you to the forefront for a second, for some time. Just give yourself some time to focus just on you. I know how selfish it's gonna feel. I know how you're gonna feel. You're gonna be like, no, no, I shouldn't do this. Oh, I gotta focus on this other person. Oh no, somebody else is more needy. I'm gonna be all right. That is the trick of the system.
Yes, it is.
That's the trick because you're ineffective. You are worn out. You are burning out, right? But when you start taking care of yourself, recognizing your needs, that's the mindset. We're shifting the mindset, right? And then finesse. Now we're going to finesse this because now we're going to create everything around our strengths. We're going to stay in our zone of genius. We're going to find ways to create profit and impact doing the things that we love, right? And
That's
then
right.
we're going to create non-negotiable boundaries around that. That's the end. So we got the mindset, finesse, and non-negotiable boundaries. We're going to create non-negotiable boundaries around this in your business, in your life, who you work with, who you do business with, what do you stand for? We're talking about brands here, right? What do you want to work with any and everybody? Do you want to work? Do you want to like you have to create boundaries that you stand for, right?
Right.
That's the non-negotiable boundaries. And so MFN, it is woven throughout every single thing we do. And we use it because we want you to pay attention. We want you to inquire, what? What does that mean?
Right.
Right. And then after we do focus there, then the systemic disruption can happen, right? Because you have taken those steps to focus in on yourself, to see what you care about. What causes do you want to champion? It may not be my cause. It may not be social justice. It may not be criminal justice reform. It may be environmental justice, right? It may be over here. It may be children, being abducted. I don't care. What do you care about? Right? What gets you riled up? What are you going to stand for? And then that's when we get into what is your brand, right? Because when you're just starting a business, that's your personal brand. It's about you, who you
Absolutely.
are, what you do, why that matters.
Yeah, and it's probably the reason why you want to do the work that you do in the world. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So thinking about that, what do you feel the next generation of Black women leaders need to know for sure?
Ha. Huh. The next generation of Black leaders need to know, stop watering yourself down. My
Mhm.
grandmother always told me as a young woman, a young person, she said, girl, don't you dummy yourself down for nobody, right? When we're in these positions, when we're in jobs and we're in places where they don't celebrate us, where they make whatever we're doing, even if it's extraordinary, feel like it's just, eh. I mean, because and let's just be clear, that's what happened here. Like, I mean, we unseated a judge and made Nashville history. And when I tell you, it's like, oh, let's just move on from that because why do you want to move on from that? You want to move really fast from that and not give it any kind of credibility because you don't want these other little disruptors coming up behind. Hello? Okay. And
That's
so wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you are dope. You are amazing and you're a
right.
badass. But society is conditioned to make you feel like you're not. Society is conditioned. Yes, ring the bell, baby, because society is conditioned you to feel like this is just all okay. Absolutely not. So I think that what you say, Black women in business, leaders, future leaders,
Mm-hmm.
I think that is important for you to know that you can make profit and impact at the same time.
Time.
You deserve to take up space. You
Yes.
deserve to take up space and live freely and unapologetically in your brilliance. But to get there, we just got to reshape the mindset a little bit. So we got to recognize that, yes, our mindset has been impacted, right?
Mhm.
And you got to go on that journey and do the work to unpack it. Those audibles will help. They're good.
Yes. Well, and you know where we are so intertwined, Courtney, in the way that we want to serve these clients. So
Yes.
if they need me, send them my way.
Ah, and will.
Hello. And then this is just so doggone rich. But I know we're getting close to time.
I just put a message in the chat for you.
Okay. Okay. Because see, this is what happens.
Yeah, right. you
Because
you said it, baby.
I
You
was
said
just
it.
getting ready to go there. Okay, well then let me ask you a couple in. I want to know who poured into you when you couldn't see your own power. Sometimes
Oh,
that's important too, for us to recognize those people that truly see us to help us. Like I heard part of it was your grandmother, right?
absolutely. Absolutely. So, who poured into me when I couldn't pour into myself? So, two people. It's going to be my grandma for sure. Like I was saying, my grandma is one of the strongest women I know. Like, girl, Annie, I love her, girl, Annie Lois. Girl, she don't take no shit.
Yes. Sound like my mama.
Hello at all. And as a result, I don't take no shit because my grandmama raised me like that. So Graham always poured into me. Graham always made sure that I knew that I used what I had up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, this is all good. You know, all this is good and whatever, but baby, we gotta have something going on up here. Right? You know? We gotta be able to okay.
Tribute to the loud also.
Yeah, oh, girl, heck yeah. And this potty mouth.
I love it.
That's how we are in my family. Like we're so loud. Girl, we all be in one room. And it's like you'll think we just screaming. We'll just be talking to each other. It's like, yeah, girl, blah, 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 blah. And so we're very loud.
That's love and excitement.
I love it. I love it. Like, but my grandma always taught me, like, listen, don't you back down from anybody. Don't you like let nobody hurt you and not say a word about it. Like, so that's why it makes me a great advocate because if somebody from the marginalized community is being harmed, like, oh, I'm gonna get loud about it. If I represent you and you getting
Right.
systemically harmed, like, oh, hold on, everybody, look what's going on over here.
That's right. Shine the light.
I'm
Shine
a
the light, baby.
That's what my grandmama taught me. Like, baby, what it would say in the Bible? Like, that light ain't meant to be hidden up under no cup or nothing or hidden underneath the valley. The light's supposed to be up on a hill. So I took that song seriously. This little light of mine.
I
I'm
love
gonna let it shine because my grandma gave me ultimate permission to do just that. And
Mm,
my husband is literally my secret weapon. Like, baby, when I am down, like we've been together since I was 15 years old. 15, my high school sweetheart. And so he knows me better than anybody. And so whenever I'm down, every time he go, he reminds me just how dope I am. It makes me tear up a little bit. He's my biggest fan. Anytime, my wife,
yeah.
my wife this, my wife that. He's just my biggest fan. So I love him so much. But he like same thing. I pour into him. We're both Leos. We're both really big fire sign energy. So whenever
Yeah.
one is down, it's like, oh no, let me get you pumped back up. You know who you are. You know what you. And I'm like, you right, babe.
You know what I love, what I see about him? He down for whatever you up to. That is like your PIC, your partner in crime. Let's go get it.
You know what all type of crack girl. We be going to do. We go to Bridgerton balls. He be with. He gonna dress up. He gonna do whatever it
I
is.
love that.
Oh, he's crazy.
We need that. We need that. Let me ask you, so we have covered the gamut in so many things. Is there anything that you wanted to share that maybe I did not ask?
Well, I think that I don't know if. Well, yeah, I do want to share something. Y'all, we're in hard times right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Harry Potter fan, and this feels like Voldemort taking over, right?
Tell him.
taking over and it's just oppressive. It's hard. I heard, what a million black women or so done lost their jobs. Again, so many black people. I don't know if it's I don't know the exact amount. One point it was 300,000 were not in the government anymore. They were being fired from their jobs. And so whatever number, it's huge. And so what I want people to know that right now you have power and influence in something. You are an expert. Remember, I did the profitable possibility between what I talked about. I
Right.
had to remind y'all, like, listen, what I do for my coaching clients, like if I come from a legal industry and I'm in here, I'm doing jury trials where somebody's life is on the line and we're getting in front of this trial, that means that all the stuff that is gonna ever come in, the judge has to approve. That includes an expert.
Absolutely.
Qualifying an expert on knowledge, skills, expertise, all of these things, right? Or training. Expert can be qualified on multiple ways.
Absolutely.
Knowledge, skills, training. Like so, if they can be qualified in all of these different ways, and they can come in front of the highest courts in the land and give testimony as an expert, and I've qualified many. Then and I've seen their resumes, and I'm like, oh, okay, I know hundreds of experts who don't even know they are experts and don't recognize themselves that way. And this is wild. And so, this job loss, these things like that, I know people are very unsure. People are very scared. People are always like, oh, nobody doesn't have any money. Listen, move that to the side.
Yeah.
Get out of your mind.
They need to come see us, because if you've worked somebody's job and they've paid you, you are a professional, you are qualified and certified.
You are. And you just got to learn how to package it. You just got to learn how to step into it, how to own it. And a lot of times what stops us is our colleagues. It's our colleagues, right? What they're going to say is that upper limit. You're thinking about what they're going to say about you if you post or if you say something. You're going to post something. They're going to be like, ugh, what is she doing? She don't even know what she's talking about.
And let me tell you something, they ain't your clients no way, so we don't care.
Listen, you cannot worry. You can't control what nobody else thinks about you. They're going to talk regardless.
Tell
You
them,
can
Courtney.
only control what you do. And
Absolutely.
so at the end of the day, what your job is to figure out what you truly want out of life. But
Yes.
do you forget the experience right now? What do you want out of life? Is this good enough? Is this good enough? And I'm sure, like, and listen, here we go. Let me do this caveat, Selina, because we were praying earlier, and I'm a church girl. Hello? And so I want to go ahead and name it and address what I know some people are going to be thinking, where they're going to be saying, like, you know what? Because a lot of us were raised in the church and taught to be grateful for what you have. You just need to be grateful for what you have. You don't need to be, why are you asking for much more? You're good. You have a lot more than a lot of others. You don't need anything else. And that type of mindset is what keeps us small, right? You have to disrupt any outside thought processes and figure
Absolutely.
out, who are you? What do you want in your life? If you could have it your way,
If you could have it your way.
what would it look like, right? And then some people have to say, well, if I won the lottery, because you want to make it so outrageous where you got a 1 in what, a billion chance to ever do it, that it never will happen, so you don't even have to ever be accountable for thinking about it. There is power in your brain, y'all. So when you
Yes.
have a thought process, when you want to do something, you got to get it out. You got to write it out. And when you finally write that thing out and you see it right there, your brain starts working for you. It's natural. It can't help it.
Yep.
Your brain start, and then if you looked at it every single day, your brain every day will start
Yes.
thinking about ways to attain it. But you don't
Yes.
even get it out your brain.
Yes. You got to plant it in the soil. You got to
Oh,
get it out.
hello. So all I'm saying is this: listen, you have got to stop letting anything stop you. Anything get in your way. There are so many millionaires made during one of the most unsure times in the world, 2020.
Yes.
The 20, and I'm not talking about for no PPP loans. I'm talking about people who started businesses when people were unsure was what's going on in the world. Money was funny, but they did it anyway,
Yeah.
right?
And
They
it
did
starts
it
with an
anyway,
idea. Come on. Yes.
right?
You can
And so,
do it.
yes, and so that's my thoughts. That's what I would love to say. Is just that don't let that stop you. Let that fuel you.
Yes, yes, y'all. So with that said, Courtney, the people that want to get at you, how do you want them to reach out to you?
Awesome. Yes. So like I dropped my information down there, guys. Like y'all literally can subscribe over on at the Black Law Girl. You can book a Loud Legacy session with me. I'm gonna have a few of those available. And then you can also connect with me on LinkedIn, Courtney Teasley on LinkedIn, or over on Instagram at the Courtney Teasley now.
Yes.
A caveat for my Instagram, Selena, you can let them know, listen, my stories are my stories. Okay. So you, I'm gonna talk about all the things I want to talk about. I'm gonna turn up and live my best life in my stories. I'm gonna travel and what I'm gonna be doing, Selena. I'm gonna be giving food reviews.
Oh, reviews. I live for them reviews. She gonna give you full reviews and then some, because
I
it's more
love
than just the full reviews, like her travel. You tell the people what just happened. You just celebrated a birthday. You and Boo celebrate birthdays,
I
right?
did. Oh my
And then
God, we
what? What else happened?
listen, girl, just okay. So first of all, last year, so on my TikTok at Black Law Girl on TikTok, that is not that one. Now let me say this. I'm sorry, guys. For the ones who are interested in the legal literacy, follow me on TikTok at Emeffen, Emeffen. I have a free course over there, criminal justice literacy 101, everything you want to know, all those things. Now, my travel. I'm gonna be putting that on the Black Law Girl. And when I tell y'all, last year we did a Euro trip. We did a tour. We went to Barcelona. We went to Ibiza, Spain. Then we went over to London, and then we went over to Paris for one day, and then we hit Venice, and then we hit Rome. Killed it, enjoyed it. This year, for my husband's 40th birthday, we hit Vegas and did the Hangover remake.
Yes.
That's all my husband wanted to do is a Hangover remake. And then we for my birthday, I didn't do a whole lot because I like the next year's. I'm up, it's the 40th next year, so we're gonna go up on a Tuesday. And so we went to just to Orlando and went to a concert.
That
Uh
was five though.
it was
Like,
such a vibe. Oh my
yeah,
God, that Jeezy Thug Motivation 101 with the orchestra behind it and everything. Y'all,
yeah,
the dress up was insane.
you did good.
Girl, listen, and then that's my forever boyfriend. Like that's who we were growing up to, listening to, and so to be older now and to be vibing and all this nice, we look great. I was just
You
like,
was smart. Yeah,
it
I
was
love
so much fun.
it was so much fun. I
So
love
listen, I like to live life to my fullest, and you will see me living my life to my fullest on my story.
Yes, you will. And it's a wonderful thing and beauty to see because some people need those lights, right? So keep
Absolutely.
keep being loud. Y'all work on this. Courtney is she is the truth. I stand on that 10 toes down. She's getting me together as well. I love every minute of it. Courtney, I have one last question for you.
Oh my God.
So I like to flip the mic and I have
Uh,
quite a few questions.
ooh,
Do you have any questions for me?
I do. So, Coach Lynn, how are you doing today?
I am well. I just came back from 15 days in Panama. So,
Girl, I heard, and you were just living your best life. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you what's so funny because as soon as you told me that, I'm out with my friend the other day, and I was like, "Y'all, we should go to Panama
you should.
because of you." And my mama had went a couple years ago, and she told me the same. But I was like, "Oh, okay, you confirmed." So I want to ask you this:
Yes.
Tell me about the Get Your Shit Together challenge.
Okay. Well, it used to be called the Get Your Shit Together Challenge. And then, thanks to my coach, I had to go back and really look at what this looked like. So a lot of things have happened. We launched it right before I went to Panama. That's why I needed a break. It is some glorious time. It is now known as the Sacred Circle Reset Experience, and it is 4 days. If you do the general admission, we talk about. So my shit is that I love to talk is self-love care is the S for the S in it. Healing is the H. Identity, because who are you, darling?
Okay, because who are you?
Who are you? And
Yes.
until you know that, you might be held hostage and in a cage and
Mm,
wearing a mask
mm,
and doing too much and all
yes.
those things. And then it is your time freedom, right?
Mm.
Get your time back, set yourself free, stop trading time for money, all of the things that you totally desire.
It's the framework for me, baby.
It's the
It's
framework.
a listen. Listen. We got the bold frameworks, right? The shit, the MFN, baby. We gotta come together. We gotta come together and do something. I love it.
You gotta get your shit together.
I love it so
Here
much.
we have a VIP day. If you really, 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 really want the full experience, the full immersion in it, you have to go VIP because I created the clarity calculator and it just changes the entire game for you. It is a 2.5 to 3 hour workshop, and it really we go deep. We help you figure out and get clear around your why.
Oh,
Truly your why is. And it's not things like, oh, because I just want to save the world. I just want to help people. No, it's because you want to live a certain lifestyle. We look at your
absolutely,
lifestyle. We look at the experiences that you want to have in your life. We look at
absolutely.
the philanthropy and the impact that you want to have in your life. We all know that that does not come for free, that there it requires resources. So we look at like, we really total up the costs. What are the costs? Right.
Yeah.
And then we help you figure out what the money making possibilities are to be able to do that. And it is really literally based upon those gifts and those things that you've already done that you can probably monetize. So it helps you identify products and services or other avenues to
Oh,
help you
wow.
get there. We break it down on a monthly basis because then it's doable. It's
Yeah.
that bite size that we talk about. And
Yeah.
then most people realize, oh, this is doable. I can have all the things that I want because now it's tangible. It's not in
Yeah.
your head and moving around and all of those things. You can put it on paper, you can say it out
Yeah.
loud, you can put it
Strategy.
in the universe, plant it
Yeah.
in the soil so that everything starts to manifest and come
Yeah.
toward you. And you're focusing on what you do want and not what you don't want
Ah,
anymore. Because that's what also impedes you. Spend more energy and time talking about the things that you don't want versus the things that you do. And then
oh,
once we do that, we look at, to take a page out of my good sis book here, what you can do right now. You don't have to wait. One of my things that came up in the Sacred Circle Reset experience was, what are the possibilities? What would make me feel like her right now? And
woo,
one
woo.
for me, and that I got to live out in Panama, is I want to be able to watch the sunrise anywhere I am in the world every
Come on
single day.
now.
I
Come on.
got 13 sunrises in Panama. 13.
13.
13 sunrises. Yes.
I love that. You told me I love that so much. And so that's what I wanted to know. I love this sacred circle. I love what you're creating. And I love how intentional it is. It's like you thought about your client from start to finish and the transformation you want. And so, absolutely, absolutely, I definitely think that is amazing, amazing investment. And whoever, right, decides to come into it,
Yeah.
y'all definitely should.
Yeah, and I'm awed by it. And quite honestly, the transformations that have taken place, stay tuned. I have several episodes, especially a Panama episode, and we will be recapping all of the beautiful experiences and things that had taken place during the Sacred Circle Reset and letting you know when it's coming up next. So thank
Absolutely. I love that. Y'all, this was so good, Coach Selena. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you for saying yes. Thank you for saying yes.
That was
This
an easy yes, girl. Like I get asked a lot of different stuff, but baby, the easy yeses, this was easy. Easy yes.
It's such a beautiful conversation. Well, thank you for being here. That is our time, y'all. We're going to have all of Coach Courtney's links, all of the details right here where you're watching this podcast. Come back, it'll be in the description. Until next time, Coach Courtney, any final words for the people?
No, y'all, live loud and unapologetically.
Absolutely. And you know what I say? Until next time, I want you to take